Hello again, Christ Church family. It's my pleasure to meet with you again.
Excuse me, Jeff, I believe you're in my chair.
Well, Ed, there's like 800 different places to sit in this
And
sanctuary.
you'll have no problem finding a place to sit.
When I was serving the church in Baytown, part of my job was to handle the evangelism ministry for the congregation. One Saturday I was doing a presentation on church hospitality, and I was telling people when a visitor comes to church, they don't know who sits where. So if you come to church and a visitor is sitting in your pew, the worst thing you can do is say, "You're in my pew," because that visitor will probably never come back. Well, Jennifer Wilson was my evangelism chair, and she and her husband had their pew and their place that they always sat. And I could tell this was really bothering her. That next Sunday morning, I was preparing the sanctuary for worship, and Jennifer came in, went to where she and her husband usually sat, and she started pulling the books and the registration pads out of the pew rack and just laying them on the pew. And I couldn't figure out what she was doing, so I said, "Jennifer, what are you doing?" And she said, "As the chair of evangelism, I have to set a good example. So I am not going to tell anybody to get out of my pew. I'm going to put these Bibles and hymnals here so no one will sit there to begin with. Then I don't have to ask them to leave." You know, everybody has their pew, their favorite place to sit. It's really out of habit more than anything else. We're getting close to the time when we're going to be back in the sanctuary for worship, and that's really exciting. But when we come back, we're going to have to do some things differently. Some things will change. We're probably going to have to seat thinking about social distancing, with families being 6 feet apart from each other. So we'll probably have to close off some pews and kind of help people decide where it is they need to sit. So when we do come back, there's a good chance you won't get to sit in your pew. But you will be in worship. And the other thing is this: you will be showing love and care for everybody in this church who's vulnerable to becoming very, very sick from the COVID virus. We're going to be in the same sanctuary, worshiping the same Lord, but sitting in different seats. But that's okay. As long as the Lord is worshiped and the community is gathered, that's what makes it church. So when the day comes that we are all back together, things will be pretty different. I'll probably still be sitting in the same... Dan, you're in my chair.
I was here first. We'll worship together again this Sunday online at 11 a.m.